Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back for a new video. Today's video was inspired by 66 Samus. Recently, Samus posted a week in the life video breaking down what his weekly routine looks like. I watched that video and one of the things that I noticed is that most days he's actually getting out of bed to go to his freezer to take frozen socks out of the freezer and apply them to his wrists to help with his wrist pain. So Samus, this video, this stretching routine is for you and anyone else asking if I suffer from wrist pain and what do I do to alleviate wrist pain from drumming. Yoga is one of the ways in which I spend my time. It's probably my favorite hobby. I'm not gonna be teaching you a yoga routine today. I'm basically just gonna be taking some of the stretches and poses out of yoga routines that I really enjoy and presenting them to you streamlined so we can just isolate what's going on for wrist health. Let's get started. The first thing we're gonna need to do is set up in a tabletop position. That's gonna essentially just look like this. You're gonna wanna have a 90-degree angle in your wrists and a 90-degree angle in your knees. Also, don't arch your back or push it too far forward, kinda keep it just flat. So now the first way in which we're gonna start with the wrists is simply lean forward. And you should feel a stretching sensation, some pressure in the top part of your wrists. Now come back and lean forward again. All right, come back and lean once more. This time we're gonna hold it a little bit longer. Come back. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna adjust the hand position so that the fingertips are pointing away from each other and away from the body. And lean forward once again. Come back. Forward, back, and forward to hold. And come back. We're gonna adjust the fingers yet again. This time the fingers are gonna be pointing towards one another. And lean forward over the wrists, and back, forward, and back, and last one, and we'll hold just a little bit longer. And back. Next, I want you to take your fingertips and point them towards your knees. This time, instead of leaning forward, we're gonna shift our weight back towards our feet and our toes. Be really careful here, as this is a really sensitive stretch. But if you're doing it with ease and you want to take it up a little bit, you can start by just bending the elbows and bringing the palms off the mat. Now come back forward over your wrists once again. This time around, what we're gonna do is we're going to place the tops of our hands down on the ground so that the palms are facing up. You should now really feel a stretch in the opposite side of your forearm from where we just stretched with the last position. If this is too intense for you, feel free to start with one hand down and then switch. Take your weight off of your hands and shift back onto your feet or onto your toes. Put your hands in front of you, interlace your fingers, and we're just gonna put them out in front and create a figure 8 pattern or an infinity sign with our hands, just rolling the wrists. Now switch directions. Now, because drumming involves a lot more anatomy than just our wrists, we're moving our shoulders, there can create tension in the neck and through your chest as well. I want to do something now to open up the shoulders and the chest. We're going to take the hands and interlace them behind the back, shift forward onto the top of your head, and push your shoulders up and forward. All right, come off your head, walk forward on the mat or on the ground, and lay down on your stomach. Cactus arms. So what that's gonna look like is we're gonna start with the right arm. Now create a 90-degree angle in your right elbow, and then use your left arm to push your shoulder up and take your left leg and shift it over your right leg. This is going to create a stretch in your right shoulder and open up through your chest. Okay, now come back to your stomach, and we're going to do the same thing on the left here. So create that 90-degree angle in your left elbow. Use your right arm to push and shift your right leg over your left. Come back to the center and release that. Now the next thing we're gonna do is put the hands underneath the shoulders, and we're gonna push up into a plank position or a push-up position. Now that we're in this position, I want you to, with your toes, push forward so that your weight starts to lean over your wrists again like we did at the beginning. The difference this time is there's more weight, so it's a little bit more intense of a stretch. So be careful when shifting forward. And come back. Shift forward again. And come back. And shift forward one more time, and we'll hold it just a little bit longer. And come back. All right, now lower your knees down to the ground. Walk your legs forward and sit backwards on your butt. The next thing we're gonna do is a reverse tabletop. Again, for the wrists, the chest, all that's gonna get opened up. The way we set this up is we're gonna put our feet about shoulder width apart and our hands behind us with our fingertips pointing towards our body, shoulder width apart as well. And when you're ready, come up to tabletop. You're gonna want to try and feel for a 90-degree angle in your knees and your shoulders, and then a 90-degree angle as well in the wrists. Once you're confident you're in the position you need to be, let your head rest backwards. Now what I want you to do is shift forwards towards your knees and place your butt down as close as you can get it to the backs of your feet. Once you're in this position, take a deep breath in and expand your chest. And as you release the air out, bend the arms in the back and see how far you can sink down. Although be careful on the way as this is a pretty intense stretch for your chest. Now we're going to walk the hands forward to release out of this position. And the next thing we're going to do is come to a comfortable seated position, where we're going to end with a couple twists and some neck movement, and then that'll be the entire routine. So the next thing we're going to do is work on the neck. As I said at the beginning, there's a lot of movement, full body movement at the drum set. Stretching just your wrist might not always be enough, as a lot of the connective tissue that runs up your arm has its point of origin in through the neck and the shoulders as well. So we're going to try and open up that area as best we can. So I'm in a seated cross-leg position. I'm going to put my arms down behind me on either side of my butt, and I'm going to stretch my back out, trying to get into as much of an upright sort of posture as I possibly can. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to go to the left side first. So lower your ear to your left shoulder. Now come back to center. We're going to go to the other side and hold again. Now come back to center. Now we're going to hit forward and backwards. So we're going to start with backwards. Lean your head backwards to look up towards the ceiling. And come back to center. And the last for the neck is we're going to look forward. So touch your chin to your chest and hold. Try not to lean forward when you're in this position. Try and keep your back elongated and straight. Okay, bring the head back to center. Last two positions we're gonna hit is just a right and left twist. I'm gonna do it out of this cross-leg position. So for that, I'm gonna take my right hand first. I'm gonna put it directly behind me, and I'm going to use my left arm on my knee here to just kind of work the body to the right and turn around and kind of look at the wall behind me. Come back to center and switch to the other side. And come back to center. So 6'6" Samus, I challenge you, my dude, try that out. I'm really hoping that it can be some relief for the wrist pain that you might be having from the drum set. Shout out to my other friend Max, Maxa Drums from Twitch. I know that you had some wrist issues recently, so maybe you try this routine too. Give it a shot. Both you guys and then all of you at home, let me know how you enjoyed this routine and if it helps to clear up any of your wrist problems that have been created because of a lot of drumming. Wrist pain at the drum set is one of the most annoying and frustrating things to deal with as a drummer. You want to play, and when you go to play and after a short amount of time you start to feel these weird sensations that make it really uncomfortable to express yourself through your instrument, it gets really frustrating. At least that's how I felt up until I started doing yoga. I at one point was wearing a wrist brace on stage. It really sucked. So I can relate, and I hope that, as I've said already, I hope that this can help you guys out. Now, just before we get going, huge thank you to my Patreon family for making all my videos possible. And lastly, a word from this video's sponsor, Drumeo. Drumeo's Black Friday sale is on right now until Monday. You can save up to 81% off of drum lessons, accessories for the drum set, and merch from Drumeo. Some of the deals include things like the Ultimate Lessons bundle, which is usually priced at like $1,600, but right now is only $200. And this bundle includes a free practice pad. If you're super dedicated and ready to take the leap, you can get unlimited drum lessons for life for $1,200. That pack also includes 20 free bonus gifts. On that pack specifically, there's 100 spots available and only 12 left at the time that I'm recording this ad. So if you want to take advantage of any of those deals or anything else that Drumeo's got going on as part of their Black Friday sale until Monday, make sure to head down to my description or the pinned comment and click on through to the Black Friday page. Thank you, Drumeo, for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for checking it out. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all very soon with something new.